And Ed, can I put you to work?
Sure thing.
Hand these out for me. I think I have a copy. And Craig, can I have you hand these out too? Can I put you to work? Thank you. And no matter what buttons are pushed, you will be pushed. You're responsible to your own reaction or your own response. I love Romans 12:38. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peacefully with all. I love that verse. So I'm responsible for my own actions, my own reaction to the situation. So what I'm giving you is 12 steps to handle conflict resolution. I'm sure a lot of you at work, or if you get into a pre-marriage program or anything marriage that we do, we always try to get couples. It's amazing how many people really don't know strategy or a template to handle conflict.
You got two different.
And I mean, you don't handle this sheet around there in every conflict. Hey, we got to pull out our 12. This is when it's a pattern, when it's really a problem, that you're in the red zone and you're not getting where you're stuck. And this when you pull this out. My wife and I have a pinch time in our week. It's times we talk about a decision, a difference, a problem, and it's usually a pattern, something that we keep on coming back. Usually couples have 2 or 3 problems that always surface up over and over again. And a couple of years ago was our youngest daughter coming back from school first time. She's different than the other 3 kids we have, and we have different views on parenting. So we sat down and had this pinch time. We pulled out the 12 steps of conflict resolution. What it did, it helped us to slow down our emotions, get the rational, listen to the Holy Spirit, and work together as a team for a solution. It works all the time. That's why I present it all the time. So, do I have a copy? I want to be on the same page as you guys. Yeah. This sounds stupid. Set a time and a place. We keep on charging forward, and if we're in the red zone, we just got to take a time out and say, hey, let's get back in an hour and let's sit down. Okay? Especially if it's a pattern, right? It takes time out.
It sounds dangerously like meeting at the playground at 3 o'clock.
You want to share more about that?
Now I'm going to go read some Proverbs 15:8 about the anger.
Depends on how you say it.
But setting a time and a place is so important. It allows you to process, allows you to pray, allows you to say, why am I upset? What am I really needing? What am I really asking for? And it gets from that second emotion to that first emotion to your heart. What are you really asking for? Okay, what are you really needing? You'd be surprised that once you set a time and place and slow down, you realize, wow. And sometimes you don't even have to go through this. You just sit down there and have that time and you go, you know what? What I said was wrong. I was tired. I was frustrated because I didn't feel like I was a part of it. And I feel disrespected, but I want to share that with you, and next time if we can, I really like that. But I realized my reaction was wrong. I'm sorry. Now, if you did it intentionally, then it's a forgiveness thing. If you did it, out of the fly, then yeah, our emotions go sometimes. But set a time and a place. What's the next one there? Number 2? This sounds kind of crazy, but when you define a problem, I've seen couples fight over different things. You talk about the expectations different, and you talk about they're sitting there fighting. I'm sitting back there. You guys are not fighting about the same thing. And they look at me and they look at each other and go, yeah. Isn't it crazy? So we really have to clearly define what, and you may find that there's like 2 or 3 subsystems of that problem. Okay? So you think it's the problem, but usually there's 3 or 4 that's attached to that, and you got to sit back there. What's the essential one? Because usually, if you get the essential, maybe 2 or 3 will be resolved. I think. Okay, does that make sense? And that helps you slow down too. Helps you from the yellow stay in that green zone when you're going through this thing. Then express your position. First statement about each person wants. Honestly stating one perspective and listening to the other person. Empathetic listening. Going back and say, what I hear you saying is blah, 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 blah. Okay? And also exploring the concerns. What's your concerns? We all have concerns, maybe expectations, right? What's attached to those expectations? What's attached to those concerns? Every problem we have is really not the problem, it's what we attach that problem to. Do you hear my heart on that? That's so huge. That's why you have to slow down. What am I really pissed about? What am I really wanting to avoid? What's really going on? What am I attaching to it? What's my concern? What those feelings for that? What do I really need? Then tell how you each contribute to the problem. Now, this is an I statement, okay? Craig, oh man, 30 things. Guys, let me tell you, 30 things he's done. Right? That's easy to tell, but if I have to look at my own, no way, I got 4, 3 maybe. But if I go into the I statement, no insight, meaning you always never, okay? Don't work. Sorry, guys. We may feel that way, but it's not reality. I have to I statement. I feel I contribute to this when blah, 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 blah. And it's amazing because sometimes the other person just wants to hear the other person fess up. Yep. Fess up, or just, we're in this together. We're sinners together in this world together, saved by the grace of God, and it gives that level of humility and openness and understanding. It's not a power up or a win-win, okay? Because if I win, he loses, who wins? No one. Nobody. And especially when we got competitive juices as guys, we want to win, and we're in a win culture. They don't work in relationships. They don't. So that's very important. So, you mark down here as an I feel like I contribute to the problem. 6, scratch that out. I don't like this at all. This is just me. When we list past problems, and that just stirs up things. Let's stay on the now. Okay, you just cross that out.
So it's a lot of steps.
The other thing is brainstorming. Do you have brainstormings at your work? Kind of like think tanks at your work, you're not in your head? Okay. I've been in some brainstorming, excuse my language, I've seen pitch sessions instead of brainstorming sessions. Brainstorming is putting 10, you may put this 10 solutions on the board. Boom. At that time, we don't analyze them, we don't criticize them, we don't judge them. We just lay it out there. Okay? We just lay it out there. I think we should send your mother to Jamaica and just keep her there on that island. And I'll pay the full way. You can see her once a year. Okay? Roll those solutions out there. Okay? And then you discuss and evaluate each one of those solutions. Okay, and that's when you come in analyzing, cross things out, circle things that could be a possibility, and then agree on one solution to try. Now, this doesn't mean it's in cement, right? This is one we're going to try. Got it? And if it's not your idea, it doesn't mean you lose here. You both come in there, and then you agree on how each of you will work toward that solution. Not again, I think Craig should do this and this and this. No, I feel I can contribute to the solution that we picked by doing this, the roles. Okay? And then we go do it. And this is what a lot of people don't do. They come back and say, how did it go? Okay? Now, on your trip, I don't know if you even be doing this, but it maybe slow you down to the process and nipping this at the bud real quick, going through this real quick maybe. If you're stuck, if you're in that red zone, or if you're staying in that yellow zone with somebody. And then I always say celebrate. I'm big about celebrating if the solution worked for you. And sometimes when you're asking that question of defining the problem, and concerns, it's a level of depth of disagreement you have. I got a thing here that says, well, number 1, I'm not enthusiastic, but it's no big deal to me. Where it's 10 over my dead body, right? So we have to ask what level of degree this agreement or this problem, what's attached to that, how important it is to you. Right? When my wife says that to me, I really sit back and kind of sheepishly I go, no, it's really not important. I realize it's really a 2. You know, then I know, then she knows how to enter in. You know, she's not coming here enough for an 8 conversation with me in conflict resolution sport of a 2. So I have to sit back and evaluate myself. What is really the issue? What am I attaching to? How much importance am I playing this? What am I really trying to convey? What am I really needing? That make sense? That make sense? Okay. I was going to have you guys come up and have you go through this, model it, go through that, but I think you get it. So this is a long thing to do, but I really want you to put in the back pocket and really ask yourself to go back to maybe on some conflicts, people at work or in the home even. If I have used this, what would have been different? Okay? Or how can I use this in the future in relationships? Any questions on the 12 steps or 10 steps of conflict resolution? Is this new? Is this familiar? Is it affirming? Is there a step that's a little confusing? Personal questions for me, how I use it?
You get your title to 11 steps?
Very good.
Yeah.
Or you
I
added-
should, because I
you
crossed
added
out
s-
6.
You added celebrate at the end though, right?
I did. Thank you. So I'm assuming your silence is that I'm processing this? This is new stuff?
Well, in your experience of being on several mission trips, where do you see the most conflict happen?
On projects, on change of schedules, who's the leader, being tired,
Hungry.
adjusting to the culture.
I've heard tired, I heard hungry. I have a staff member who, she's big on